sprinkle, and with the October Video Kit Club, we are going to be making this really fun, just for you rose vase, and it says sweet thoughts of you. We've got this cool technique that we're going to be showing you with the fantastic HAI Supply multicolor, beautiful little droplets there. There's also going to be some bonus footage where I'm going to show you how to use the Nuvo Creative pens. These guys right here, and I'm going to include all the numbers so you can repeat it and do it yourself. We're using this awesome kit, this awesome stamp set, and this is a Rose for You set 915. Don't forget to also check out the Digi, so you can get it in a variety of different colors, as well as you can change the sizes, which are really fun. And here are two samples of what some of our designers have done. So this helps you see there's a digital version and a card version. So just really fun options. And you're also getting an extra stamp set. This is the Sparkle and Sprinkle Crackle background. So I hope you guys really enjoy this. There's a lot of fun tips and techniques on this for you to check out. Okay, in this kit, you are going to be receiving the 5 pre-colored Digi stamp outs for your card, but I actually wanted to take a few minutes and show you how we color most of our stamps. So I'm going to be using the Nuvo Creative pens, which we have available at sparkleandsprinkle.net. And I'm also going to be using the hybrid ink. What's great about the hybrid inks is you can use them with your alcohol markers. So if you are going to skip the coloring part, you can just obviously fast forward this and just move on to making the card. And I am going to add the numbers that I used, which pens I used for this flower in the description as well as the instructions. So I'm going to go ahead and take my black Nuvo hybrid ink and ink up my stamp on my acrylic block. And this is Black Shadow. This is also available at sparkleandsprinkle.net. It's not going to be in the kit because I wanted to give you some other goodies, and we have given it to you guys in the past in a kit. So make sure that you, if you don't have one of these, they're really great inks. All right, so let that dry for a second or two. And I am not, I repeat, not a pro at using the alcohol markers. So like most of you guys, I watched a couple videos, practice. I did a lot of different layouts, different color combinations on what I liked, saw how the different colors work together, and really played with them before I came to the final outcome of what I wanted to use. So these markers have a very tough pointy tip, and then they have a softer brush. They have a wedge tip and then a softy brush pointy tip. So I'm going to first start by completely coloring in my rose. And I'm just going to go around the outline and fill it all in. And then I'm going to go ahead and take, and that was 451, and now I'm going to use 377, which is a nice red. And I'm just coloring basically like the butt of my rose. And then I'm just going to go in and do some shading. All right, and then next I'm going to use my darkest red, which is 381. And then I'm going to go back with my lighter color again and just blend them together. And this is when you get that really beautiful finish, that very artsy finish on your cards that looks like it was professionally colored. And all of my designers do such a fantastic job with their coloring. I've got some work to do, but it's been really fun, and I've actually been pleasantly surprised with my outcome so far. So the whole reason I'm doing this is so maybe you will take a little bit of a risk and try something new, branch out a little bit. But if not, if you want to skip it, you also are receiving, like I said, the digital printouts. All right, so next I'm going to go ahead and color my stem. Really simple, and I'm using 410. I really liked this green. It was a little bit of a more of a neon green, and I'm doing very light pressure. If you've never worked with alcohol markers before, they have a lot of ink in them, so you want to do a light touch, especially to more detail. So I'm going in and not really going too heavy, especially over the lines, because like I said, they have a lot of ink in them. And I'm sure you guys have seen just the beautiful finish that you get when using all of these gorgeous markers. And they are very user-friendly and pretty affordable in terms of alcohol markers. All right, and next I'm going to use 403. I'm just going to go in and just blend a little with my yellow here, just to add a little extra color. And then I can come back with my green. That yellow picked up a lot of the green, so if you wanted to darken it, that's the fun thing too, is you can really keep working the color, and you can go back over it. You can come back and lift it up a little bit. You can use your blending pen if you wanted to lighten things up. You've got a lot of flexibility with your coloring, which is a really cool concept when using markers. So next I'm just going to color my vase down here. And I really love this teal color. And this is Aqua Spray 360. And I just wanted it to have that appearance of a actual vase filled with water. And then I'm going to take 485, which is the lightest of the grays. And I'm just filling in the clear parts without the water, as well as kind of just doing a little extra shading around the edges. Maybe you can also do a little shadowing just around some of it, under your roses. Like I said, I am a beginner when it comes to using alcohol markers, so I know there's a lot of different levels out there. But I just wanted to give you guys a little hope. I wanted you to see how user-friendly they are, especially to a newer user of alcohol markers. And there you have it, just like that. My rose is complete. So I just wanted you to see a simple, easy way to color it, and check out all of the options that we have available for the beautiful, fun to use creative pens. All right. So next what I'm going to do is I'm just going to trim, scoot this guy over. I'm going to trim my rose. So if you decide to color yours, you can use the markers, or you can also use your watercolors. You've received watercolors in the past. That would be a really fun way to do your coloring as well. There's our little flower ready to go. You can also use your pearlescent watercolors, the paints, which are really fun. I am now going to go ahead and I'm going to add our beautiful multicolor little bubbles. So I'm going to take my jewel pick, which was part of your kit a couple months ago, And I am also going to use the dimensional glue. You've received that in the kits in the past, so it's not going to be coming with you this time. But I'm just going to add a couple drops, small drops, and the glue dries clear. So you're going to see right now it's going to be a little white, but it does dry clear. We're also going to do that, and then I'm going to go here, here. It was really fun working and creating with these really fun multicolor droplets. So I hope you guys enjoy them as much as I have. All right, so we're gonna drop it. Once you drop it down, you can kind of roll your jewel pick over a little bit. There we go. Set it down and roll it over. And like I said, it dries completely clear. So if you have it on a line, you are going to be able to see the detail of the art once the glue dries. Add my green ones. There we go. And then I'm going to take some smaller blue ones. There you go. And you can do something different if you'd like. This is just an idea. There. And we'll do one more. And then I am just going to take the rest of that glue off. And then there you have it. You've got your fun dimensional drops. All right, we are going to assemble our card and build the insert. So this little piece here was really fun to make. So all I did was I took a piece of scrap paper, just like here, and I'm going to take a piece of my Tear-ific tape, 1/4 inch. You don't get any with this kit, but you have received it before in the past. So if you don't have 1/4 inch, I highly recommend adding it to your cart. It is a really great, I use it all the time, this size. So it's definitely a staple. And I am using I cut this out to be 1 3/4. So I'm gonna just take my little piece of scrap paper again, use my cutter. We're gonna be cutting it out, so it doesn't have to be perfect. That's why I used my scissors. And then I'm gonna take a 1 3/4 and just trim that. Okay. There we go. And now I'm going to peel off the backing, and I'm going to take my jewel pick again, and then I'm going to start by just throwing them all over. Ha! I'm going to start by just picking one up and placing it down. And there's no right or wrong way. I just created a fun little pattern using all the different colors. If you want to use one with just one solid color and then the next one with a different color, you can do that too. You can leave a little bit of space or tighten them up as much as possible. The only thing you want to do is make sure that you are keeping them kind of even, like you have a nice even shelf. But really you can trim it up like that too, so it doesn't have to be perfect. But this is a fun different way to use all of your drops on your Tear-ific tape without using adhesive. Especially if you're doing a quick project and it needs to be dried in a certain matter of time. You don't have to wait for your Tear-ific tape to dry, which is really nice. It's a nice thing to have. Okay, there we go. We'll do 2 more. I want to scoop this little green one over. Pop it off. Then set that down, and then I wanted this green one to be kind of sticking off my paper a little bit. There we go. So now I have that bit of adhesive through the bottom still. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my black embossing powder, sprinkle that on, And that is just going to stay where the Tear-ific tape is. So now you can see I've got a little bit of that black embossing powder, whoops, on my crystal, on my little gems there, and I'm gonna wipe that embossing powder off, and then I'm gonna heat from the bottom. Once you have completely melted your embossing powder, let that cool. All you gotta do is go ahead and trim around. Just do a little fussy cut. And then just trim around there. Okay, so to create the really cool Crackle background, I'm going to be taking a 4x5 piece of sticker paper. This is the Crack and Peel permanent adhesive. So I am going to peel off the backing. Then I am going to take the Teal Velvetine, which you get in your kit, and sprinkle that on my sticker paper. Once you've got half of it covered, take your finger tool and burnish that on. Tap that off. Now I'm going to take the other side, sprinkle, take my finger tool again and burnish that on. Really give it a good hard to medium pressure. You want to make sure that all of this glitter is pushed into the adhesive. And sometimes you can see where there's some lighter parts, and you can go over and do it again. The cool thing about using your microfine glitters is, like the technique I'm about to show you, is you can stamp on them. You can always create your own glitter paper. So you can do any color, any size. Just make sure you're using your Sparkle and Sprinkle microfine glitter and your sticker paper, or you can use your Tear-ific tape. So just like that, I have now created my beautiful glitter paper. And now before we do the next part, I am just going to take my glitter resist brush, and I am going to make sure all of my loose glitter is brushed off. All right, next we are going to take the static free bag. So I am just going to give it a nice little pounce across the whole thing. And this is a must whenever you stamp onto your sticker paper and your glitter paper. All right, so next I am going to take the Sparkle and Sprinkle Crackle background. This is included in your kit. I just thought this was going to be a great opportunity for you to receive this staple background to have in your collection of stamps. And I've gone ahead and put it on a block. This is a little bit smaller. You can also use your stamp positioner, especially for larger stamps, your stamp platform, which is really nice to be able to use for your larger stamps. But for my videos, I tend to put them on blocks. So I am using my clear embossing ink, really inking up my stamp. Whoopsie. All right, and now I am going to stamp it down. Now this is 4x5, and this stamp is actually just a little over 4x5. So what you're gonna wanna make sure you do is completely cover your paper. So I don't want any edges left exposed. Just like, it helps if you move your fingers like that. And then once you're right over it, push it down, and you can even go and push down over the edges here. It's more of a mixed media background. It's not a saying, it's not a person's face. So if it's a little smudged or not stamped perfectly over the whole thing, it's really not gonna alter the look too much. So don't give yourself too much of a hard time on being the perfect stamper in this moment. Okay, so now I'm going to take my black embossing powder, which we are throwing in some black embossing powder this month into your kit. It's a staple, but I know we use it all the time. So I just wanted to give you something that, let's say you have a lot of black embossing powder. This is a great gift for a friend just getting started in stamping. Okay, so I just gave that a nice little tap, and now we are going to go ahead and heat set, which my heat tool is hiding. There we go. Okay, so isn't that such a cool look? Give that a heat set. Okay, and once you have completely heat set your whole Crackle background, you are left with this. Oh, isn't it so beautiful? Okay, so we're gonna set that aside. Okay, for the last part, so I went ahead and stamped and embossed with the black embossing powder for the seine for our stamp and trimmed it out on white cardstock. And I know a lot of you have seen the embossing technique, so that is a really simple one. For this last one, we are making this little, basically step card portion of our card to add a very dimensional element of our card. And I am going to be taking this strip of black cardstock and I'm going to be folding it over the white portion of my glass mat here so you can see it really well. So all I've done so far is cut out a 2" by 11" strip. So take your black piece of cardstock and cut that out. Now the only thing you need to measure beside the 2 by 11 is your first fold here. And that is a 1.5" fold. So I went ahead and put a little score line here at the 1.5" mark. And then I'm just gonna fold that in, line that up. And then you need two, so I've got one fold, 1.5", and then I'm gonna fold it in half, just like that. So I've got the 1.5" fold and then fold it in half. And then we're just taking the back portion and we are going to fold it in half again. So at this point, you have this little chair guy. So this part here, the large flap, we are going to adhere to the folded down part. And we will have the folding instructions as well in the written portion of your video kit club. So something really nice about all of our kit clubs is you get this video part as well as written instructions that come with it. So make sure you check those out as well. Okay, so we are just making sure that is adhered just like that. And then this is where your roses are going to be glued to. So I took my Tear-ific tape and just went ahead and stuck that on here. And now I'm going to show you some assembly options for your card. So as like a true, step-up card, you can have this front portion be the entire part of your card. But I am going to assemble this where you actually have an inside of your card as well. And you can go ahead and put like a little white piece of paper in there, and then that way you have more room to write. So to assemble our card, I'm going to simply take my Tear-ific tape off of the back of our really cool Crackle background. I can't wait for you guys to go to the Facebook page and post all of the fun different things that you do. Now before I adhere this down, I am going to stick my rose, my little rose easel on the back. And that is going to, you can either center it, and I'll show you the two different things, or you can put it on the side. I am gonna do my first one on the side, just like that. So now I'm gonna go ahead and center that on my card, just like so. Well, you know how I center. I do a close enough centering. So I'm gonna stick that Crackle background down, and now I have my easel roses. Then I am going to place down my SEQN. So I'm gonna have it right there, just like that. And then our really fun dimensional stopper is gonna go right underneath, and I'm gonna want it about right there. So you can go ahead and play with it if you want it to lean a little bit more or be straight up. So I'm gonna go right about there, maybe scoot it over just a little bit, push that down, and then look at that. Just like that, our card is done. Now you can also go and glue a couple more of these guys. The nice thing about using these embellishments is you can lay them out before you glue them down to play with what colors you want, what sizes you want, if you want a lot or a little. So just like that, our beautiful A Rose For You card is complete and travels nice and flat. Thank you guys so much. I hope you enjoyed this month's video kit club. I had a lot of fun designing it for you. Comment below if you enjoyed it, and please reach out to us if you have any questions about becoming a kit.